reading the speech that you gave at Brown University, and I sort of want to go to this because there's a section in here that I was pretty intrigued by. You say there's no single monolithic voice or unified agreement about what it means to be GLBT identified. You say we want equality and the right to be left alone. We want to be able to move freely and safely in our daily lives, free from the threat of random hate violence. We want to be able to freely associate without fear that our privacy, including the privacy of our intimate consensual relations, will be compromised by intrusive and abusive selective enforcement of laws or moral codes. And I want to get a sense from you if you think that that's what we're debating today when it comes to the LGBT movement.
Well, I think it clearly is. And what's interesting to me is that speech was given in 2000, so 13 years ago. And it's still the same, those are still the same issues facing us. I mean, there's been so much progress that people see all these celebrities and politicians coming out, now a pro athlete coming out, kids coming out at much earlier ages, schools having these support groups. I mean, there's more and more states now are going with marriage equality. More and more cities and states are passing general protection, civil rights protection. But still, at the base thing to this day is still this issue of those points of we want to be treated as full citizens, we want full rights, we want full protection, we want safety. And today we're still fighting those things. And when, in the context of that speech 13 years ago, hate crimes were much more of they were still not being treated very well in terms of gay protection, and the police were still pretty ambivalent. That's changed quite a bit in the last 13 years, that part of it. Law enforcement's much better, much more responsive, in large part because of the work that we did. But yeah, that could be put in the speech today and it would still be a very relevant passage.
So do you get a sense, though, that the debate around marriage, which has dominated the discussion, obviously the Supreme Court's deciding this very question as we speak, and we'll know a lot more soon, but do you get a sense, though, that the marriage issue is sort of the culmination of this bigger discussion on rights and being left alone and being able to freely associate, do what you want, or is this just one part of it?
Oh, it's just one part of it. It's the part that has certainly captured the public attention and imagination. It's the part of it that has really fueled a lot of progress, because in the process of debating these issues in various states, there's been victories, more defeats, but lately many more victories. Public opinion is like totally flipped over to majority on almost every demographic. Even conservatives we're now seeing majorities of people that think gay marriage should just happen. And that's all great, that's all good, because it's also expanded the debate and it's expanded opportunities to talk about our lives. But it also, to me, indicates a certain level of agreement to assimilate on the part of much of the gay community. Because in order to win these marriage victories, we've had to go out in these various referendum fights and make arguments that basically are on the premise of, oh, we're just like everybody else, we should be treated like everybody else. Which is intrinsically true, but the politics of that has meant that within the gay community, people have had to alter their image or their outlook or their behavior to make us look like everybody else. And that's fine, but we have yet to see a transfer of that kind of idea or thinking to the broader issue of general job protection, general civil rights protection. The ironic thing is that in Michigan, if somehow gay marriage became legal tomorrow, and I had somebody I wanted to marry and I got married, I could still lose my job, I could still be refused service in a restaurant, I could still be refused, me and my husband could still be refused a hotel room. So marriage is one civil right, which is significant because a lot is attached to it, including thousands of benefits. But it really doesn't get to the heart of the matter, which is gay people are still regarded as second-class citizens. They still have to prove themselves to the general population. And there's a huge anti-gay industry out there that continues to demonize us. And that demonization goes hand in hand with hate violence. So it's a complex thing when you look at this. Yes, the marriage issue has been important. There's been progress. It's transferred over to a lot of other rights, but we still have no rights.
It's interesting. I had a conversation just today with the Reverend Jim Wallace about this issue, and asked him about how people of faith can sort of reconcile whatever they consider to be their moral concerns about the issue of homosexual relationships and the marriage issue. And the way that he sort of gets around this, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but one of the things he was saying is that, look, I'm just for marriage, period. Strengthening the entire institution of marriage, and I think that gay and lesbian couples should be a part of that discussion.
Right.
There still is going to be some moral objection within the church, in the thing, but this is a way to sort of work around that issue. Is that something you're comfortable with, or is that maybe not an exception that you can tolerate?
Well, I'm not sure I see it as an exception. I think that he makes a very good point, and it's glad to hear someone like him saying, I just want marriage to strengthen marriage. And from what it sounds like, he means, so if gay people want it, come on in. And that's a good point. I mean, if marriage is such a great thing, and if the conservatives are so bent on protecting the institution of marriage, I would welcome gay people into that institution, because their commitment is much stronger. I'm being general. Much stronger, because their commitments come amid this incredible anti-gay feeling that we're not capable of these kinds of relationships, that we can't produce our own children, which is a fallacy, and that somehow some big voice of religion is all against it. Well, the fact of the matter is, and this is where they get tripped up, there are many religions that accept gay marriage without issue. So there is no Christian position on gay marriage. There are radical, wacko Christian views on gay marriage. But the other side of that argument is well, gay people should be allowed to get married so they can be as miserable as straight people. Hi, I'm Jeff Montgomery. I'm the subject of a video memoir being put together, which is part of this Indiegogo campaign to raise funds to help make that happen. When I became a gay activist in the 90s, gay rights were under attack from everywhere. Gay people were in danger of not only being killed, but losing all their rights, losing any privileges, and treated as second-class citizens. Today, 2013, things are much better, but not all better. We need to continue this fight to continue our protection and our rights to dignity and respect. No Fear for Queer, this video memoir, is going to be a great tool in that. It's going to tell the story of great activism, great energy, and the fight for freedom, which is ongoing, but will be moved forward by your support and your help. Help us get the story out. No Fear for Queer at Indiegogo. Thank you.